I'm diving deep into Netflix like
Daniel Craig into a James Bond role. Hit it!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast, the only podcast that dives so deep into Netflix. It's just like Daniel Craig, but not into his role because he's terrible. From the 1890 studios, my name is Dale.
I've had the Gilligan's Island theme stuck in my head all day. I'm Adam.
My name's Patrick, and have you subscribed to PewDiePie yet?
I have not. Thanks for asking, Patrick. And I'm John.
Today we're going over Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Room, of course, our own dealer's choice films. Please stick around. You heard it right, folks. Johnny P is on the mic. He's the just docket master, special guest, all-around great guy. Welcome to the cast, man.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Had to get one more in before the end of the year just to rub it in Rob's face.
You got to seal that. What's your guest count in 2018?
Not Papa Steve, but I think I'm up next.
You're up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think we need to put numbers to how many times compared to Papa Steve, but I think
everyone's going.
I'm right behind him.
The hot race is second best behind Papa Steve.
Right.
That's the hot race right now.
I was talking we tried to save it for the cast, but me and John were talking about Papa Steve's involvement. He said, what was your exact line?
I think he's part of this four-person cast, and he just can't make it sometimes.
He just doesn't show up sometimes.
So he's like part of this cast now. He's no longer a guest.
Well, he does have his own bio on the Netflix Explorers page, so
something to dream of.
That's true. Right. We all want to get there one day. Patrick, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, but you know who's not doing well? PewDiePie. We have to subscribe to him. We have to subscribe to him right now. He's got a BT series. Come on, guys.
Do we have a Netflix YouTube?
I don't know what any of that means.
Yes, we do, and the Netflix Explorers YouTube is also subscribed to PewDiePie.
Okay.
And if you guys aren't, I'm very upset with you.
We got a YouTube page?
Yeah,
but it's pretty dormant because they keep demonetizing
Well,
it.
I didn't know anything about it.
That's
why. I got to make that thing hot.
We gotta.
Don't touch it.
Guys,
we're already...
www.youtube.com /1890 Studios has a YouTube page.
I will only subscribe to PewDiePie if he subscribes to us. Is that
Dude, he's already subscribed to us.
Really?
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Fact.
All right. Well, Adam, what's going on, man? Great to have you on the cast, as always.
Yeah, great to be here, man. Great to be here.
Really, if you're talking about... You've been on the podcast the longest.
Well, you have been on the podcast the longest.
It really comes down to who said the first word of
I think it was
part.
you. So, and you went, so.
Dang, I got a couple seconds on that.
It's like we're twins born at the same time in this podcast.
Out of the podcast womb.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's hilarious stuff.
My segue.
That's my segue.
Well, I've had the Gilligan's Island theme song stuck in my head all day.
Right. What happened there?
Well, no, stop, because he's going to put it all on our heads.
No, this is what I want to ask this. I'm putting this question out to you guys. I want everyone else to chime in. I wake up every day with a different song in my head. Like, random.
How would Frasier diagnose that?
Like, does everyone...
Schizophrenia.
So I take it that's not normal based on your reaction.
No, I don't know if I pop out of bed with one in my head, but I will have one almost daily.
It's not like I pop out of bed, it's in my head. Like, I'll go brush my teeth and I'm like,
yes.
I'm in the skipper too.
I have one I think I have one every day. What causes that?
I don't know. Okay, I just want to see if other people have that.
Yeah, is that what it is?
If our listeners, if anyone else wakes up with a song in their head, I'd like to feel like I'm not alone.
Adam at 1890 Studios.
Thank you.
Dale at 1890 Studios.
Johnny P.
That's it.
Johnny P at Gmail.
Me and myself all don't do that.
You don't, me and all myself. Nice. Took me a second.
Bud Light John at AOL.
He just wakes up with a Bud Light in his head and a song in his heart.
It's like mouthwash. It cleans it
It's good
out.
for you.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Same alcohol content.
You must have been on that mouthwash when you picked this docket, Johnny P.
Segue.
I'm kidding. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. 2010 film. Scott Pilgrim must defeat his new girlfriend's 7 evil exes in order to win her heart. It's a 7.5 on IMDb, an hour and 52 minutes long. Action comedy fantasy. It's a PG-13. I'm going to read this note first. Edgar Wright has stated the movie was done in the style of a musical, but instead of the characters breaking into song and dance, they break into a fight. I can agree with that. Adam, hit that trailer.
Michael Cera at a party.
Michael Cera.
Hey, what's up? I'll leave you alone forever now. You know this one girl?
Flubs a line with the girl.
Ramona Flowers.
She's out of your league. You know her? Tell me now. She just
Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec.
Aubrey.
Really cool.
Aubrey. I like Aubrey better.
Waiting for the package you just ordered?
Maybe.
Macaulay Culkin's little brother? What? No, it is.
Hi, I was thinking
No.
about it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
No.
I remember seeing that in the
Guys.
cultures. I saw McCulkin.
Come
So do
on.
you want to go out
I believe it.
That's
I
enough.
say yes, will you sign for your damn package?
So yeah, 8 o'clock? Come to this Battle of the Bands thing.
You have a band.
Yeah, we're terrible.
A lot of garage rock.
But then
You
all
like
of a
that.
sudden,
Mr. Pilgrim! I'm Ramona's first evil ex-boyfriend.
What?
Oh, what's her face?
Anna
from-
Kendrick?
Anna
You get my
Kendrick.
email explaining the situation?
I skimmed it.
Mm-mm.
What was that all about?
If we're gonna date, you may have to defeat my 7 evil exes.
So what you're saying is we are dating?
I guess.
Does that mean we can make out?
Sure.
So clueless. Michael Cera.
Prepare to feel the wrath of the League of Evil.
Chris Evans from the MCU. Pretty exciting. He's Captain America.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
Remember that?
The
That's pretty
MCU.
cool.
Remember that thing?
You have to fight for it. Step up your game, Scott. Break out the L word.
Lesbian?
The other L word.
Lesbians?
Ooh.
That was a funny line.
It's on. Like Donkey Kong.
What are you doing? Getting a life.
You want to fight
Oh.
me for her? Why on
Jason
earth would you wanna
Schwartzman?
do that?
Because I'm in love with her.
And then Anne from Arrested Development.
Egg.
Who?
Pilgrim versus the world.
Maybe
Versus
next
the
time you
world.
date the girl with 11 evil ex-boyfriends.
7.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Coming soon.
All right, I'm going to need that AP rundown in order to do this correctly. AP, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Talk to me about it, man.
I don't know why I'm preparing my notes. There's nothing written. So, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Scott Pilgrim is Michael Cera. He's just your average Canadian adolescent.
Soy boy.
So he's in a garage band. He's got a little girlfriend. But then he meets this girl, or he sees this girl Ramona at a party, and she's got pink hair, and she looks super cool, and he's into her, and he likes her. So he starts pursuing that, and then in pursuing her, realizes he has to fight her 7 exes.
Yeah.
In order to date her for some reason. I don't know if that's ever explained. I never got that part. But anyway, so it's just a fun comic book ride kind of movie, and goes from hijinks. Just he fights them.
That's right.
That's what happens.
He does those things.
Yes.
John, you put it on the docket, man. What do you think about Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
I really liked it.
You saw it in the past, or the first time viewing?
I have seen it in the past several times. It's a unique movie. It's like a mix between like a comic book and a video game and just a fun movie.
Right.
And I just find it very enjoyable top to bottom.
Okay.
But it's also unique. Like, it's something that
Sure.
I really enjoy, but it's not something that I'm going to. Well, I'm not going to jump to that next level, but
Yeah,
I know
okay.
it's still a unique view that it's very easy that you may just walk right by it and say no thanks.
Right. Okay, cool. Patrick, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Do you see it in the past, or is this your first time viewing?
This is probably like my 16th time seeing this movie.
Really?
Yeah, this is a very good movie. I'll
Okay.
give it that.
Tell me why.
It's a very nice mix mash. It's like a, what do you call it? A margarita of ingredients where they're just throwing all these things in here.
Cornucopia?
That sounds like a drink review.
Well, it's not.
Okay.
I'm not jumping that far.
Okay.
It's a drink
But
recipe.
it's
I was trying to keep the ship
very
on track.
good in the sense that, like, you know, there's a lot of ingredients flowing into it, a lot of like twists and turns. What you got to pay attention to is the background in this movie, and everybody will enjoy this movie regardless of where your position is on video games.
Okay, cool. Adam, what'd you think, man?
I liked it.
Yeah?
I thought it was a fun movie. You know, it was lighthearted, made you laugh sometimes. It was just, you know, there's nothing to it. You know, it's just kind of a breeze through. You know, it's not really like, it's just a fun ride, I guess. Yeah. It's just a like, I don't know, because this was kind of early, 2010.
Yeah.
This kind of movie, if this movie came out today, I don't think it would hold up.
You don't think it'd hang?
I don't think it'd hang, but it came out at the right time with the right people. So I think that's what makes it a little more relatable for us.
Okay.
Who about you?
You know, this is something, you know, everything everybody said, yes, it's all good. But something that really strikes me is I've never seen a movie like this. And that's something I haven't run into. Usually, you know, we've all watched enough movies on this podcast to go, oh yeah, so it's got a little bit of ringy effect. Why? Because it's like Lord of the Rings. Oh, it's got a little bit of this because it's kind of like this. Okay, we've seen it. This one, in my memory, I cannot put ones like, oh yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like X. You know, I really can't. So I got to hand it to that. I thought it was a real interesting film, real cool to look at, different, very different. So yeah, it can hang. I liked it.
I think one of the unique features about this one is that every character I felt was perfectly like scripted or cast, like from everything from Chris Evans being just the powerhouse actor and the hilarious role, but like all the side characters, the bandmates, everyone who comes across, I thought there wasn't a single weak link. Like looking back at it, I was like, everyone played their part perfectly.
That's true. Yeah, held up their end. I don't think I could point at anybody to be like, yeah, this guy, he should go. Yeah, it was a good one. We'll tell you what, we do pros for this one, John. What?
Before we jump to that, because you're always talking about visuals, and
yeah.
I think this one is very unique in how it's cut and edited,
right? And
film. I mean, like, what was your feeling on that, or your take on that?
You know, it's kind of in a world of its own, like I said before. But I can get behind it. I can get behind how there was video game style like text on the screen as they'd walk through, and things would pop up, or they'd point to items that would give you details of the items, kind of like how a game would do. So it was kind of interesting. I could, like I said, I can't say that somebody else did it better because I've never seen anything like this one before, but I thought it could hang. I don't know, Patrick, you think it's cool there's text and different visuals and stuff on the screen, or what do you think?
Yeah, it was like, it was like playing a video game on SNES or like the old 16-bit stuff where like it would pop up on the screen, like, here's your meter for this.
Sure.
And then like the one part where he gets, like it pops up, it's got like a little extra 1-up, and they put like a little line in there. He's like, I'm just getting a life. I was like, that's pretty funny.
Right.
It's very central to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I understand that joke, but
sure.
It's on a level where, like, if somebody sees 1-up and somebody grabs it, it's like, oh, I understand he's getting a life.
Sure.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. It wasn't...
What do you think of the music throughout?
That was interesting.
A lot of good video game callbacks, I thought there. A lot of
there was like
callbacks.
Zelda. I remember hearing Zelda a little bit. I remember like the intro, like they did the Warner Brothers in an 8-bit theme,
sure.
which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
learned the bass line from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
that was
I don't
cool.
think it was 7, but yeah,
close enough.
Yeah, it was so.
It was 2. But
so you watched it all. Hey, look at that.
So, but then they also did like garage band, young kid music where they're just jamming. They're talking like, this is super dark song from super dark feeling place, and then they would play like 6 notes. I was like, oh, I get that, because they're like right. 8-year-olds writing music.
Yeah, right.
Not these 9-year-olds writing music. So it's a big difference.
I gotcha.
Now, did anyone watch it with their significant others? 'Cause I feel like we all have a little gaming aspect to us. And the first time Liz watched it with me, she was a little standoffish, and it took like a second watch for her to like really get on board. Patrick, you were saying that you did?
Yeah, Valerie Ann watched it with me.
Yeah.
And I forgot she hates Michael Cera.
Ooh.
And so the whole movie, she's like, he's such a bad actor. I'm like, Val, no, he's in his element right now.
Right.
He's the dry main character right where he wants to be. She's like, no, he's just bad. I'm like, honey, you're not wrong often, but right now, you're wrong.
Ooh.
And that didn't go over very well, but...
I'm surprised you're here right now.
But she stayed course, and she stuck to her guns.
Good. She ended up liking the film or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, she hated it. She hates Michael Cera. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He was perfect for this role.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Adam, did you watch Significant Other or no?
I watch it by myself with my dogs. I don't know what I don't know what they think about it. But,
how'd Chelsea feel about it?
she slept through it, so not very
snooze fest.
Right. I don't know what Jenna would think about this movie. I don't think she would. She might get on board. I don't know. That's an interesting point to think about. Did you watch it with Julie?
No, I didn't watch it with Julie. I don't think she'd like it, but there's a lot. It's visually, it captures you more due to the visuals and less how the story is developing. You understand almost right off the bat that like his mission basically. And if you're not on board with that, all the visuals in the world I don't think will keep you along for the ride. So I think that if somebody's not down with the visuals, you're not going to hang out for the whole ride. But I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
But those visuals are like a big part of the movie.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So if you're not on board with those, you're probably not on board with the whole thing. Just like Michael Cena. If you don't like Michael Cena, he's in a lot of it. So you might not like it.
But if they cast it with John Cena,
think
about it.
Oh, sorry. I was going to go through the whole GIF.
Let those go.
Now, Patrick, you've seen it a couple dozen times, and I as well. I feel like for me at least, after the first viewing and I digest all the visuals, which I am a big fan of, I think it's a very quotable movie. Like, a lot of the interactions just are funny quotes or easy quotes to say.
What's your favorite quote from the movie?
I mean... The vegan police and anything about that is incredible. Anything Chris Evans says, like when he looks at his phone and just laughs and says, that's actually hilarious.
When did the Marvel Universe exist? Was he already in it and he did this as like a passion project or something?
Well, I know Iron Man, the original Iron Man was like the kickoff to the MCU.
Okay.
And then I think the next one was Hulk. But I don't think Captain America came along in Phase 1. I think that was Phase 2. But I easily could be wrong because it's I don't know, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
We look to you as the expert, so.
I know.
8 years ago.
Well, if I could just consult the book of MCU. But yeah, he was definitely in Captain America before this movie.
Okay.
So.
All right, cool. What else do we add here, John? You're running the show.
Oh, I am now? Okay. I think we're on to pros and cons.
All right, go ahead. Start with you. What do you got for pros?
To narrow it down, I think it's the visual aspect of it. Like you were saying, it's so unique. The hard cuts and the inclusion of video gamey / graphic novel aspects that's so seamless that it doesn't take away from the movie is just, it's so unique that I think it's the biggest pro of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. It looks drawn at some points, like it actually is at some points, I think, through some of the weird 2D stuff. But yeah, that's true. Visually, for sure. Patrick, give me a pro.
My pro is I think anybody could watch it and kind of get behind it as long as, well, not anybody. If you're a teenager and above, you could probably understand what the main character is going through, and you could kind of get behind what he's doing.
Way to Josh's recommendation for all our non-teenage listeners.
So all of our 9-year-old listeners, you want to dodge this one. But that'll be my con coming up in the next segment.
All right.
Moving along to Adam, though.
Adam, give me some pros.
I mean this in a good way. It's kind of like the perfect ADD movie. There's just, every situation is like, hi, I'm Scott. Hi, I'm Neil. Like, and then make it go real quick.
That's what you meant.
This is
okay. Yeah.
This is an awkward situation. Yeah. Oh, super awkward. Crank up the bar. Game over. So everything's super
overly stimulating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's fun though. It's a fun thing to see, and it's just all in all, I could say it's quite a juxtaposition.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
Salud.
Okay, all right. Yeah, pros for me. Yeah, visually very, very cool, of course. I'm trying to pick something different that I really liked about it. Jason Schwartzman's character is really good, but he's always really good.
Unless he's
you
Wes
love
Anderson.
Jason Schwartzman.
I have a little crush on him.
I've been taking note.
Good. I appreciate that. Hopefully he'll respond to my email about being on the podcast, but I don't know if we're going to do that.
Jay Swartz.
Hook me up.
Adam, 1800 Studios.
I got my password now. I can check my email.
Don't send it to Fortnite. I'm not sure what that is.
But here's another pro. There's a lot of cool references that I think you can watch it and it's like, hey, this is just a fun, lighthearted film. But if you watch it knowing a lot of references, it could add much more to the film. So the film's deeper than it looks in the outset. So that's my pro. But we do got to talk about cons, John. What's your con?
I do not have any cons for the movie, but a con overall is that you actually led into it early on that there aren't more movies out with this style. I mean,
okay.
You can't remake it. You can't make any. Well, you can remake everything. But I really enjoyed it and would love to see other ones take stabs at it, even if it's terrible.
Okay. Cool. Patrick, give me a con.
A con is if you're not a fan of Michael Cera, you're really not going to like this movie.
Do you know firsthand, or how'd you come up with that con?
It's kind of like it's a formula I'm working on. If Michael Cera A is in movie B, then
Adam,
your results,
give me a con, Adam. What do you think about this one?
You don't like my story?
Yeah, only tolerates it for the drinks.
Story times during drink review.
Okay.
You know this.
Trust me.
We'd established this at the last meeting. P-Funk.
Wow.
Oh, you're going to use my full name?
I'm using your royal name. Sir P-Funk of the Trolls.
Adam, give me a con for this one.
Yeah, here's the thing. So, I watched this movie before. I didn't realize I watched it before until halfway through the movie. I was like, oh, I've seen this before.
So halfway through your rewatch, you realized you've seen it before.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's never a good sign.
No.
And then, like you said, I think you hit it on the head. You were with Michael Cera. It's like you either like Michael Cera or you love Michael Cera or whatever. 2010, give me some Michael Cera.
That's his era.
Give me some George Michael. I'm all in that.
Sure.
I can't get enough. That's...
I just can't get enough.
Yeah, exactly. 2010, I'm still in college. Michael Cera it up. Let's go.
Right.
And then, but now I watch it, I'm like... this movie would be really good with some other people in it. You know what I mean? Because it's such a unique style. Like my favorite part of the movie is
Jason Schwartzman can stay though, right?
Yeah, he can stay. My favorite part, I don't want easy. I'm not trying to get rid of everybody. I'm just talking about a head coach change. I'm not talking about a whole front office move.
All right, Belichick, keep going.
And then
topical,
very topical.
Yeah. So like the part where they're in they become all sitcom-y all of a sudden,
right?
Very ADD again. Like,
well, yeah, they did an episode of Seinfeld.
I got a date tonight. Laugh track. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, I would like to see some cooler people
laugh track.
In this movie,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you can't say that now. 2010,
you saw him.
I would never have said that.
Sure.
I would say, how dare you?
That's a con from
That's
the
George
past.
Michael. Yeah,
I gotcha.
What about you? That's all that's.
Yeah, con for me. I think this is a very polarizing film. Like as Adam just said, he watched it before, didn't even realize it till halfway through again.
Yeah, so once her ex showed up to fight, I was like, oh, the 7X. Yep, I remember that.
So it's kind of like,
the first 6 times.
Whenever the past Adam watched it, he just turned his brain off halfway through or something. But
I was just saying like a screen like an 8K with AD. Like,
so I think it's polarizing. Either you like the style and you're going to stick it out and you're going to want to watch the whole thing, or you're going to realize, as Adam did, maybe shut your brain off for a little bit of it and kind of forget it till the next time you watch it. So I think it's polarizing. That's my con. But we talk about if we're going to rewatch it or we're going to recommend it. John, do you rewatch it again or do you recommend it to anybody?
I will rewatch it and I'll recommend it to certain people. Like I enjoy it so much that I don't want to set it up high with such high expectations and then have it just come crushing down and be like, well, I'll never talk to you again.
You don't want to do a moon all over.
Yeah, God, that was so embarrassing.
But like, who wants to watch this movie? What kind of person?
I think someone who has some enjoyment to like the more visual art style of like, hey, do you like some type of like video game or graphic novel? Like maybe you don't play it, but you're fine with seeing it, or you're open to that type of environment.
And you can understand it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right, Patrick, do you rewatch it? Do you recommend it?
Yeah, I've rewatched this a few times, probably at least 15.
Ooh.
So this is probably my 16th
The
viewing of it.
resident expert.
And what the nice thing about this is, like, once you, like, really, like, you have the plot fleshed out, then you're not so much paying attention to Michael Cera or Junior Macaulay Culkin on screen. You're looking at, like, what's going on in the background. And that's where, like, a lot of the humor is.
True.
It's just, like, off-scene, because, like, there's one scene where it says Flight Club,
Mm-hmm.
but the L is like flickering. You're like, what? And then when you take the L out, it says Fight Club.
Oh,
Is that how you spell that?
And then there's a fight, and you're like, the juxtaposition of it.
Yeah.
oh, take a shot. Did I use it right?
No.
I don't think so.
So yeah, rewatching this is so much better the 15th time.
Okay.
Recommending it, yes. Like I
Okay.
said, anybody that has ADHD and is above 9 years old,
It's perfect.
it's perfect because you understand the concept of this movie, and there's flashing lights to keep you involved. Thanks, Adam.
Adam,
Oh,
give me
speaking of Adam,
rewatch and recommend. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I would rewatch and recommend. Now that I didn't even think about all that stuff. I totally missed the Fight
know.
Club.
So it's
thing.
worth a rewatch.
Oh yeah, I think
It's
so.
worth
I mean, it's a
15.
good movie. It's just like it's one of those that watched and then I don't know, I just blanked on it for 8 years, and now I watch it again. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one.
Right.
Hey, don't forget about this guy. So, yeah, yeah, for sure. Rewatch, recommend. Yeah. What about you, Dale?
I will. I don't think I need to rewatch it. I'm good with missing the L being blinking, I think. But recommend it.
So where's the rewatch, Dale?
it's an L that's flashing.
It's
What
a
more do
Fight
you
Club.
want?
I think.
Ringy effect.
I think I will recommend it, though. I think everyone should at least give it a shot. It's very interesting, regardless of what your tastes are. It's worth getting in your catalog and just checking it off the list. Pretty good.
That's a good way to put it.
We bring it down the liquor store aisle, John. This is where we kind of compare films to different drinks, maybe even a drink story. But it kind of ties into what the movie's like for you. What can you compare this one to?
This one I listed as a Captain and Cola. For me personally, at any point, I can have a Captain Rum and Cola.
Sure.
And it's enjoyable.
6 a.m.
6 a.m.,
Right.
6 p.m.
Fresh out of bed.
in the middle of a meeting at work. That's like it. I have a sweet tooth. I enjoy it. And so at any point, someone 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. can be like, Scott Pilgrim's on. You want to watch something? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll sit down and watch that.
Right.
Let's go. Which part? Don't care. Let's run with it.
Right. Okay.
So
cool.
this is my Captain and Cola movie.
Yeah. I can't think of a scenario where I'd say no to a Captain Cola.
Let's get it. Who's working secretary right now?
Captain and Cola, both of them.
It looks like Gabe the Slug.
Dude, Gabe the Slug's been our longest running intern. I'm pretty proud of him.
Yeah, he's
He's slow moving.
Well, that's because you
the
never
end of the year is coming up
That's
soon.
because you never see him, so that's probably why he's
It's
still
December 12 today. He's going to get let go before the holidays.
No.
around. Happy Hanukkah, Gabe.
And adios.
But he celebrates Kwanzaa.
Patrick, bring it down to liquor store aisle. What can you compare this one to?
Dude, I got to give this an E.T.
Okay.
Because it's just, every time I revisit E.T., I learn something new about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always delicious.
Yeah.
You can mix it with ginger ale.
Right.
You can mix it with
It's true.
Coca-Cola.
It's true.
Hell, you can even mix it with RC, the worst of all the colas.
Oof.
And it still tastes good.
Preach.
All right, there it is. Adam, looking at you.
Well, this is I have a so for Christmas I got a Christmas gift early.
There we go.
Yeah. And it's it's the 20 you ever do the 25 days of Christmas thing, the calendar?
It's an advent calendar.
Yeah, advent calendar, yeah. Where you
All
get
good
like
Christians know about it, yes.
yes. Well, this one is instead of chocolates in the dates, there's German beers in it.
Ooh.
It's a German beer advent calendar.
Okay.
So I got
stand corrected.
How big is this calendar? Like,
it's
bottles
huge.
for
No,
each of these?
it's a giant case, and they're all like it's a pint of beer. It's not a can of beer in each day. It's a full pint.
The forte of bull.
I've been drinking a pint of German beer every day this month.
Respect that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So
I'm interested to see how this compares. I'm excited for the back.
all right, you ready for the juxtaposition link?
So close. You're getting close. You're surrounding it.
Dang. All right, I'll get there one day. All right, so when I said Scott Pilgrim was on the dock, I'm like, oh, I gotta watch Scott Pilgrim. Jesus, Michael Cera, God. hey, lady. Oh, I like you. Oh, okay. God, 2 hours.
If you're watching the live
I got things to do, Michael Cera. Jesus. And then, but then I was like, oh, I gotta drink this beer. Jeez, gotta drink this beer. I gotta watch this movie. But I drank the beer and I watched the movie and I made the best of it. And I was like, this is good beer and this is a good movie. So it kind of they linked to get like I took what I went into it with a bad mindset, but then it brought myself into like liking it.
Okay.
I like the beer. I like the movie. You know, just let it ride, man.
Nice.
Just let life ride.
Just let the days go by.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I like it. Mine is, of course, a story because I got to annoy John and Patrick. You walk into the liquor store and there's a cooler just of mixers, random pops, random juices and sorts. So you're gonna get something in. What can I mix? I'll grab some pink lemonade, and what else can I mix it with? You go through all the aisles, and you're like, I can't mix this with anything if I want the purest flavor. I just need this pink lemonade. Super sweet. It's on its own. There's nothing else that, you can get a bunch of different ginger ales, of course. You get a bunch of, as Patrick said, RC, Pepsi, Coke. You can get all kinds of colas, but pink lemonade's pink lemonade.
Right.
This movie's this movie. There's no other movies. There's no other pink lemonades. It's pink lemonade. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, there's not like, what one I really liked? The other... There's nothing else like it. So this is going into the liquor store, getting pink lemonade out and leaving. That's all you're getting. It's high energy. It's simple. It's a sweet drink, but it's
Lipton's in the pink can.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Done. And then you're out of the liquor store. So it's all. If you're getting pink lemonade, that's all you're getting. If you're getting Scott Pilgrim, you're never going to watch a movie like it. So that's what I got. Every week we go off and we watch our own films. We bring them all together and we kind of talk about them. And, we try not to share with one another, but maybe we have this week. John, what did you pick this week?
So for my dealer's choice this week, I screwed up and did your dealer's choice from last week.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
You got a studio
Kelsey
applause for him?
Grammer, Kristen Bell.
Yeah, how's that slug secretary doing? Because there seems to be some miscommunication here.
Gabe, the whole time he's been here, he never got his login password, so he can't email out the dockets properly, so I apologize for not getting that over to you.
That's probably a smart move on his part.
No. And the very rare times that I'm going to stand up for Gabe, the slug of all people, I think this is on John for not reading his emails. Because, I get BCC'd on everything that happens in this company, and I know its secrets.
Wait, everything?
Yeah, did we just watch?
No.
Did we watch Scott Pilgrim? I skimmed it. I skimmed the email. I saw the first and the second. First and last,
that's accurate for you, John. Yeah, you just skim things.
So my dealer's choice was, I'm going to skip over Like Father then because we already talked about that. I'll go with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Okay.
New to Netflix, animated film, funny, enjoyable. It's based off of a book that I never ever read, but that's beside the point.
Smart move.
It's something that you could just sit down, grab a drink, and enjoy as an adult. It's not something that's like I don't think it's kid focused. I'm not really. I don't know if my children would notice or get the jokes at all for a while. Probably until above the age of 9. So it's either like Scott Pilgrim or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. But it's really it's like goofy.
Explain it to someone like me who doesn't know anything what this crazy title is
the
or
JP
what this movie
rundown.
Is about. Yeah, give me Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Do you have
all
that?
right, is it raining meatballs? Is there a meteorologist who's also a chef? I don't know what this is about.
Hang on, before he goes into that, 7.0, Anna Faris, Bill Hader, Bruce Campbell, James Caan, Andy Samberg, Mr. T, Benjamin Brett, Neil Patrick Harris. Do I go on?
Dynamite cast.
Huge cast.
Yeah.
They're all in this?
Well, it's all animated.
No, I just started naming.
It's animated? It's
John
an animated
Cena,
movie?
yes, it is animated.
Interesting. Okay,
with
go on.
An almost talking animal. So I'll let you, I know your feelings on talking animals.
Objectively, they're funny.
I am pro talking animals.
So,
I think society's on my side, guys. I hate to break it to you. I think society's going to support me in this effort.
So the rundown is an inventor, a would-be inventor, really wants to go out and say, hey, I can be a success. So he creates a device that can create food whenever you want for this tiny island that survives only on anchovies.
Okay.
And so...
Wait, so the island
it's
only
an animated
produces
film. Don't
anchovies.
The only... I just want to know what's going on. So the island only produces anchovies.
Yep.
But he has a machine that you can make whatever you want.
He creates it, and so it takes the precipitation in the air, very logical, turns it into food, and then it rains it down. So it's like, what do you guys want today? Spaghetti, boom, you have spaghetti.
He makes it rain spaghetti.
He does. You want fruit? You want ice cream? Boom, it's there.
It's
some type of a shaman.
It's the 8 Mile, my mom's spaghetti.
Yes.
Hey, stop asking for mom's spaghetti, Stan.
So it's so he creates this, and everything's great. And then hijinks ensue, and it becomes sentient, and then it decides what it's almost like natural disasters, but with food. And so that's how they all deal with it, and yada yada yada.
How they
so wait,
survive
it just starts picking the food and raining down the food.
It decides.
And instead of like something like, oh, we want some grapes, so it's small little grapes. It's like, oh, you want grapes? Here's like a 4-ton grape, and now here's a bunch of them.
And it's raining 4-ton grapes.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
So you're like, I want some ice cream,
and
it's like this like snow ice cream. So it's like everyone can have fun and play in it. And it's like, oh no, here's fudge, and it's just a massive amount that just goes down. So it's funny. It's like wacky funny. You said Anna Faris is in it, right?
Yes.
It's her type of humor. Like the movies that Anna Faris is in for comedies, it's like that. But it's enjoyable. I don't think it's a kids'
sounds
movie.
Like they had the food and then they didn't have the food, so it's a juxtaposition.
7.0. Do you think it deserves that?
For because the animated films always get a little weighted. They always tend to go a bit higher. I enjoy it. I'll rewatch. I'll recommend recommend to people who want to watch an animated movie that's funny. That's not kids.
Not strictly a child's film, though.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think the best animated kids films are the ones the adults enjoy as well.
I think you're right.
That are timeless. Because there's lots of jokes in that kids don't get, but adults get. I love those movies. It's like, you stupid kid. You don't get that reference yet. No.
Okay, cool. Anything else to add? I'd like to watch that one, but that goes in the same category as The Shining and King's Speech and stuff for me. So it's a big category.
It sounds pretty different.
Dale, I'm going to watch it.
Oh, we mean Dale has to watch it. Yes, that is the same.
And if it's not on the docket.
I thought you mean genre. I was like, oh, it's a little different.
No, I do. I'd like to watch it because I went through the cast. I mean, Will Forte, Lauren Graham's in it as well. I definitely want to just see what they have to contribute.
Would you watch this before any Papa Steve recommendations?
Yes, I would not listen to the King's Speech. Or no.
No, you said it right. You're done. You're good.
King's Speech I do want to watch because Adam suggested it on top of Papa Steve. He also said The Shining. So I
recommend
King's Speech over The Shining.
How about this, John? Do you have to watch The Shining or do you have to watch this? Which one?
Well, I'm going to choose the comedy over a horror movie because that's me.
Now, let's
John
say
decided it.
We put both of them side by side. And you have to
same
choose.
Time?
Yeah. So we have The Shining and
Cloudy with a Chance of
Meatballs. You can only watch one the rest of your life, and one of them can't be a comedy. Which one do you pick?
I think there's a little drama to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So
maybe
a romance. Maybe it's a romance, family. But I think it's boats. Honestly, it might be. It's loosely boats, based on some rain that happened once.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else to add?
No.
Cool.
Damn that slug for giving me that email.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Hey, Slug, you're doing a great job.
Patrick, what'd you go out and watch this week?
I watched Heat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I can't remember if this is a Papa Steve recommendation.
Yes, it is.
It is. Mm-hmm. Well, he forgot to recommend that it's a 3-hour film.
A 3-hour film going back to
Dude, oh my God, it's going full circle.
And we're full circle.
It's a callback. It's a podcast callback.
All right, I don't think we're going to top. That's the peak of the show, guys. Let's go home.
All right, guys. Thank you for being adios. No, go on. What do you think of Heat? First time viewing?
First time.
What'd you think?
Well, I have to finish it still because I only watched the first 2 hours of it. I have another 50 minutes left that I will finish tonight because it's starting to swell. I mean, you got Al Pacino in it, who I love. Mm-hmm. You got Robert De Niro in it. You got
Val Kilmer, who's one of your favorites.
Val Kilmer. And, that guy that was giving you information about who my favorites are, he was right on this one. Val Kilmer's up there.
There you go.
So, I'm really, it's, 8.2 on IMDb.
8.2 for Heat?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's got over 500,000 votes, so it's justified.
It's a rock solid A2.
On top of that, it's a robbery, heist film that I just love. So it's checking every box.
So you haven't watched it all the way, but you just...
I know.
The podcast is the only thing holding you back from watching the rest of it. Like, you got to get out of here to watch it.
Well, yeah, because it's a weird juxtaposition for me. Because I wouldn't be watching this unless it was for the podcast.
Okay,
but the podcast recommends it, so now I have to commit time to the podcast, finish the podcast.
So it's like chicken and the egg. Chicken and the egg's the juxtaposition. I got it.
Very close. You're getting close. Like I said, you have it surrounded, Adam. Just a few more carriers, and you got it, buddy. But no, this movie, so far, it was a very slow first hour, but when it kicks off...
What happens? I mean, someone's never heard of heat, doesn't know what heat is. Well, give me the PF rundown.
So here's the first 2 hours of it, right?
Okay.
The movie starts. We got a guy, he's getting coffee. Oh no, he's getting in this weird semi-truck. He gets in the semi-truck.
First mistake.
And they're like pulling into the back. They're like, oh, we're going to turn the lights off. We're going to hide under this viaduct. What are we doing under there? Okay, then we cut to Robert De Niro. He's grabbing an ambulance. Robert De Niro, what are you doing grabbing an ambulance?
What are you, the Joker in the Dark Knight?
Exactly.
I didn't know he could drive an ambulance.
But apparently, he drives it down the street, then he parks, flips the sirens on. Uh-oh. There's an armored truck behind him.
What?
He stops.
What? He better pull over.
He does pull over. He pulls over. He's like, oh, what's going on with this? You know, legally, I'm allowed to pull over.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden, as he pulls over, this semi comes out of nowhere, boom, blindsides him, puts him on his side. There's 3 guys, 3 armed guards inside. The bank robbers jump out of all these weird angles. You don't know where they're coming from.
Sure.
But they got AK-15s. Oh, no. Terrifying gun.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls everybody out. They go through the papers. They find $1.3 million in stuff.
Right. And American banknotes.
Yeah, then they take off. And then from there, hijinks ensue. So it grabs you. It grabs you 7 minutes. You know
so
what
that's
you're
right
into.
off the bat is that big heist, escape, explosion, crash?
It's in the first half hour.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Dang.
Do you think it would be made better with a hurricane?
No,
let's say if it was a hurricane heist, let's say.
Or
that's a good question.
What if they took the safe out of the bank and drove it down the streets of Brazil?
Attached
Rio
to
de Janeiro.
GTO 500.
Yeah. What's your take on that?
You know, I think it might be a little too fast for me.
How about Furious?
It's not ready.
Whoa,
that's
Dale,
not for everyone.
That would be very furious. I'm not on board with something that's furious.
He'd be gone in less than 60 seconds.
Oh, this guy. All right.
Anyway.
Anything else to add?
Got in there.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's my.
All right.
That sounds awesome.
Choice. It's
so
pretty good.
So you like heist movies?
No comment.
Noted. All right, Adam, what'd you
I can't wait to take the 1890 for all it's worth.
What did you bring this
Long
week?
time.
You're not going to get much.
True.
Except the whole studio. What is this, an RE320? Yoink.
Adam, what'd you watch this week?
I watched Medal of Honor. It's a new show on Netflix.
Okay.
Very cool. So what they do is it's a 10-episode show, Netflix original. They do the Medal of Honor, everyone that's won a Medal of Honor. So episode 1's about John, I forget his name, Krasinski or something.
Okay.
And he's in, so the episode 1's on him and his acts to get the Medal of Honor.
Oh.
So it's part History Channel doc, it's part Band of Brothers re-dramatization.
Nice.
It's they got all, generals and people that news reporters and ex-politicians and ex-military people in there.
Okay.
The episode 1 starts off and the guy's like, yeah, I won the Medal of Honor in Afghanistan, and this guy, because the guy the first episode's about, he fought in Italy in World War II.
Okay.
He's like, I can't believe I won the same award as this guy.
Oh.
And they tell his story, and basically his squad was in an open field and just getting pummeled by machine gun fire.
Okay.
So he got up and just charged this machine gun nest by himself.
Spears style?
With his Captain Spear style, with his Thompson, just shooting at it. He gets shot 3 times, gets up 3 times, keeps charging at him. His arm's broken. He's got the Tommy gun tucked under one arm. He gets there, kills a couple guys, makes them all surrender.
What?
It's just insane.
Yeah.
He was it's just insane stories like that.
And so you're getting a dramatization, you're getting a documentary style.
You're getting a dramatization, so they act it all out, really nice quality, Band of Brothers-esque.
Okay.
And then you got people talking about this, like, oh, well, this battle was this, and then this was going on at this time, and they were getting, the night before, they were getting pummeled because they're trying to take Rome, but they had to take this town before they could take Rome, so he was trying to take the town, and so you got it gives you all the background. Sure. So, very cool, man.
Okay.
So, I watched the first 3 episodes.
And there's really 10, you said 10 total?
Yeah, 10 total.
Damn, that sounds cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Just Medal of Honor.
Just anyone who's...
Oh, there's 8 episodes.
8 episodes, anyway. So, there's, just guys who won the Medal of Honor. And it's really cool.
So, let me get straight. So, war show about cooking? It's a cooking show about war.
Is it...
What?
He's trying to ask if it's, like, chopped.
No. Forged in Fire.
Forged in Fire.
No.
I've never
Forged in
recommended
Fire Christmas special.
I've never recommended a cooking show.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Forged in Fire Christmas special.
We've done over 100 episodes.
Savor.
Coming down the chimney.
Wow. Topical for December 25th.
Really cool, because then it's like all wars. World War II, Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, like cool. It's they got all spectrums.
Right.
So cool stuff. You guys
Very
check it
cool.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's I think it's one of the best things Netflix has done this year.
Patrick, you got the book of knowledge up there. Do you know what it got in IMDb?
It's 7.5.
7.5.
That's low.
You think it's low?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I put it up.
American bias.
Are you going to keep doing
9.0
the next 5 episodes? You're going to finish?
Oh
it?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What's the breakdown for talking and like dramatization of it?
It's probably 60-40 talking, but it's not just like they're talking. It's like talking while showing images of him, images of his unit, like, stuff like that.
Right.
Kind of like how History Channel does stuff.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there's some good. It's a solid dramatization quality there too.
It's a Netflix original or no?
Yeah, Netflix original.
Oh, okay. Well, different pick for them. I don't think I've seen a war docudrama from Netflix.
Yeah, dude. And the second episode's cool. This guy's like 50 dudes are at a base in Afghanistan. They're attacked by 300 Taliban dudes, and they're just getting mortared, RPG'd, 50 cal'd, and this guy's just got to like hunker down and keep his bros alive. Oh man, it's intense.
I might have to watch that one. Well,
I mean, you say that, but
it's me. Yeah.
I've sold you successfully on 10 movies.
Anything else to add, Adam? Or
that's it.
Moving quickly along. I want to ask you guys a question.
No.
Josh Brolin. You guys know who Josh Brolin is?
They see me Brolin.
You ever see Sicario before?
I've seen Sicario.
All right. How about this? Scott McNairy. What about Argo, Monster, 12 Years a Slave, Frank? You ever see Frank or no? The guy where he wears the big thing on his head. All right, we'll disregard. Danny McBride. You guys have seen Danny McBride before?
Yes.
You know who he is.
What's he
Eastbound and Down?
Oh, yeah, Eastbound and Down. A couple
what
of
about
other things.
his plums?
So what are you thinking? Like, you're already thinking it's going to be a high
okay,
IMDb
you're telling
film.
me Josh Brolin, you're telling me... I'm thinking comedy, because Josh Brolin's got a good comedy aspect.
Okay, cool.
Especially with Danny McBride.
What do you think on IMDb? What do you think this got?
6.4 on a good day.
6.1.
6.1, 6.4.
Well, tell me the premise.
How about this? I won't even tell you the name of the film. I'll read The Great Hunter Buck Ferguson and his trusted cameraman Don set out for an epic weekend adventure to reconnect with Buck's young son.
The Hunt for Bigfoot.
Wrong.
What?
Wrong.
So this sounds like a comedy in the woods.
Coming of age tale.
Why'd you shoot the deer? I don't know. I didn't shoot the deer, Donnie. Oh, well, come on, man. Shoot the deer, you son of a bitch.
This is like, you've seen this one before.
Okay, good.
The legacy of a white-tailed deer hunter. Half of this movie made me feel like this could be the best movie made this decade. The other half of me goes, I can't believe I stuck around for the whole thing. So Josh Brolin has a hunting show, which is if you've watched, as I watch, like some fishing shows and, some hunting stuff comes in on YouTube, the quality of those hunting shows a lot of times, especially in like the 90s, are really bad. But anyway, so he owns a production company that makes really bad hunting videos. And they're really funny in turn because of how he acts. And Josh Brolin, of course, is an amazing actor. And he does fantastic stuff throughout. But in this story, I'm going to bring my son who lives with his mom and a boyfriend, and like it's kind of like a dad trying to reconnect with his son and trying to, I don't know, like
coerce him into what he likes.
Kind of, but it's like trying to have him come of age, but maybe the father thinks one way and the kid thinks the other way. So it butchers. So half of me really likes it because Danny McBride's hilarious, and the way they shoot it is hilarious because Danny McBride and Josh Brolin talk about film as they're the most educated film school, top of their class. They're talking about the emotion in the deer, like as you pull the shot over and make sure you get my kid, but in the corner, but then cut in and then get a shot of my eyes. We don't want to cut the film, just do a pan over to me. And it's, if you diagnose films like we do, talking about films like this is over the top, and they do it for this deer hunting thing. So it's funny to watch. The other half of it is bad because the story between him and his son is butchered because he's a bad dad, and he's, you know, it's a crappy way to get to know your kid. Anyway, moving on.
Dale, you've already sold me on it.
And then ruined it for you.
No.
Oh.
What's the name of it?
I already said that. It's the legacy of the white-tailed deer hunter.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought I'd mentioned that. So anyway, it's half really funny and really good, but half, like the drama end of it really sucks. So it kind of turned me half on to, let's just say it's the juxtaposition between the humor and the drama that really, you know, sets it. I don't know. It's not good, but it's not bad.
Will you rewatch the whole thing?
No, I will not. I only want the clips of him shooting really bad.
Did you say it was a series?
Hunting. No, it's just one.
How long is it?
Hour and 23 minutes.
Oh,
wow.
Short one.
Wheelhouse.
Solid pick.
Wheelhouse.
2018. It's a brand new Netflix original.
NetX original.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, it's half good and half bad. I don't know. I talked to a buddy of mine who's a hunter, like just lives and breathes hunting. I said, "Hey, did you watch this one?" He said, "I watched it for 10 minutes and I had to turn it off. It's so bad." I'm like, okay, I see. Like you're
John Single?
Yes.
Adam, one name is enough for the viewers to know.
You already used John Cena. But anyway, so
trying to protect
it was
the
some of
How
it
you
was
doing,
really
John? Shout out to John.
It was funny because
Oh,
it was
doing great.
ironic.
Thanks.
Not other John, not Bud Light John.
Anyway, you guys said 6'1", you said 6'4". It's a 5'5", and I think that's exactly where it's got to be. And Adam had a theory earlier as we were sitting around the Island of Truth that we used to be like, ooh, Netflix original. And now you're kind of going, ooh, Netflix original.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at on this one. It's the phase. So anyway,
that's disappointing.
Watch at your own peril. It is funny at times, but the drama end of it sucks. If it was just funny, it'd be funny. But it's trying to be thoughtful and dramatic.
Comedy that tried to do too much?
The comedy that tried to do too much. We watched one...
That would be a good title to a movie. Feels like that's like a Bill Murray movie. Like
the
man who knew...
Copyright 1890studios.com.
Yeah.
Oh, got him.
Patrick, buy the domain. We have one more. It's Room. It's a 20.
Oh no, Dale!
I have never been more not pumped to talk about a movie on this cast.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I've ever been more pumped to yell at a docket master about a movie.
Held captive.
I'm ready.
I was held captive for jeez.
Held captive for years in an enclosed space. A woman and her young son finally gain their freedom, allowing the boy to experience the outside world for the first time. IMDb says 8.2. It's an hour and 58 minutes. It's a drama thriller, and it's rated R. Adam, roll the trailer, and I'll roll through these notes.
When the sun went down and the jungle fire was
It's Brie Larson singing
from the best-selling novel.
And he said, boys, I'm not turning.
Small
Comes a motion picture event.
Beside the crystal fountain. I guess they still can't hear us.
Do you remember how Alice wasn't always in Wonderland?
She fell down, 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 deep in a hole.
Right, well,
small child and Brie Larson locked in a room
Alice. Now we've got a chance.
With a
with
skylight.
I know.
You can't tell by the music. Everything is starting to be dramatic.
Wiggle out.
Wiggle out.
Jump.
Jump.
Run.
Run.
It's pretty revealing for a trailer. I don't recommend watching the trailer before you watch the movie.
You're right.
Yeah, but this is the halfway point.
That's
no,
true.
it's not. It's not.
It's Bobes, though.
Love knows no boundaries.
Oh, you're right. Now we're going. Now we're full.
Yeah,
full
now
movie.
don't watch the trailer. We're not saying anything because you should not be revealed to this.
Although,
pretty sure it's the end of the movie right there.
Yeah, that's the whole movie.
The end scene.
You could watch that thing and have the whole movie. I'm going to run through some notes before we go through that AP rundown. Brie Larson claimed that she avoided washing her face during filming to make clear on camera that she was not wearing makeup. The film was largely shot in sequence to make it easier for Jacob Tremblay to perform as his character evolves. That's the son, I assume?
correct.
Brie Larson won Best Actress awards from the Academy Awards, Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, and the ACCAs for her role in this film. In her downtime on set, Brie Larson would sit in a corner and write a teenage diary of her character. That is deep. AP, give me that rundown. What's going on in the movie Room?
Yeah, so you kind of summed it up well. This woman is taken captive. You figure that out pretty quick.
Sure.
She's stuck in a room, and we figure out later it's a garden shed.
Titular line.
Very small, confined space with her and her son, and she's been there for 7 years.
Yep.
Just like she's basically captured and is a slave to this dude who just has her in his backyard.
Right.
And so then she tries to escape. She tries to teach her son like what the world's like from inside a room, which is pretty much the whole point of the movie, trying to figure out like how this kid sees the world growing up in a room.
Great.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and then hijinks ensue if they try to get out.
Hijinks ensue. Don't watch the trailer.
It's a very quick synopsis.
I know.
With a very easy out.
Can we not blow it open, but ease into the middle? Because you can't really discuss much after.
I say we blow it.
You're
I don't
stuck
want
right
no
there.
whole bar.
Yeah, I say we blow it open.
Dude, this
all right, John. What did you think of? What do you think of Room? Let's do spoiler-free. People, if you don't want to know how Room ends, thanks for listening to the podcast. This is our last movie. But if you want to stick around, John, blow it wide open.
We're taking a cab.
What did you? What did you think of Room?
That's my line.
So we're free reign here.
Go ahead.
We're okay. All right. I'm ready. I feel the eyes on me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very heavy movie. It's definitely not a yay, let's smile and watch it. It's like, crap, this is gonna not make you feel really good at all.
Yeah.
I really did like the idea of this boy who's been raised in this room then has to adjust to life outside of it, and the fact that it was kind of from his perspective of the storytelling.
Sure.
I enjoyed that more. And the fact that Brie Larson won everything. We're first name basis.
Sure.
Yeah, we have two movies to stock it.
Right.
We're close. I honestly think the boy did really well. Usually child actors, I'm like, this is garbage. You're not really acting that well. It's hard to get behind it. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And this was I've seen it pre-child and post having children.
Okay.
And so it's the same effect.
Okay.
But let's just bring it right over to Patrick. He's ready. He's got the gloves up.
John, I love you like a brother.
No, you don't.
Podcasting
You like a brother.
A podcasting brother. But when you bring this to the docket, it's very upsetting. This movie is bad.
Wow.
Everything about this movie is bad. I love Scott Pilgrim. I hate this movie.
That's juxtaposition.
So why? So more details. Yeah.
Well, one, it's based on a novel, right? Somebody wrote a book and they adapted it to a film. And at some points they're talking, or in the novel, I assume, because I did not read that they're talking about some sort of breastfeeding aspect, and I really wasn't on board with that. And on other points, this lady is talking. This lady, she's stuck in a room for 7+ years. I mean, come on. The boy's 5. She's been in there a total of 7. So she get captured when she was what? In high school?
I think it's 17 is what they said.
17.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's captured at 17. How could she not understand that there's not a sick dog, that you do not get captured by an adult male at 17? And then if you are, how do you not escape in that short amount of time? I couldn't put myself in the mindset that I'd be captured for 7+ years, that she couldn't figure out a way out of a garage shed for that long of a period of time.
Now, it is based on a book, but is it based on real life or no?
There happened to be actually, oddly enough, weirdly true story that like was revealed 3 years after the book was made.
Okay.
But it was just a book at first. It wasn't on anything. It just happened that someone also.
There's a very similar story. It was like in Ohio too, which was weird.
Right.
I remember that story when that broke.
So
that was crazy.
Patrick's angst towards the character not escaping isn't like he's not personally attacking a real woman who couldn't escape. He's attacking the character, right? I just want to get that clear.
Well, and this other Ohio woman that was trapped for so long.
Oh, was she in there for 7 years too?
I don't know how long she was in there for, but
I think
she had a child too in there.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But Patrick, you didn't. You were mad that she was locked in there and couldn't get out.
Yeah, because like the main character, what are they? Evil Nick or Old Nick? I can't remember what they.
I don't think it's the main character.
It was Old Nick.
Yeah.
The person that was holding them captive, I didn't understand his motive other than the routine of where he would come in. And at the same point, I'm like, how can you not overpower this guy? Because he didn't seem like a fully there human. I couldn't get behind any of the characters at all. And I didn't like the motivation of any of them. They never really explained why the Old Nick character was doing what he was doing.
Well, I think when you see him wearing whitey tighties, you know, like something's wrong with this dude.
Well, now hang on a second.
What I got from it.
Now, this is an interesting thing because it touches on what John said earlier. This story is told from the 5-year-old's perspective. So you don't understand the mind of this guy. You don't really understand the mind of the mother and why she can't overpower him. You don't see what got the child's mother into this thing because the child doesn't know this. So you're being told the story from a 5-year-old. So when you're missing details and you're missing like, well, why didn't she do this? And why didn't she think to do this? And you're not getting into her character's mind. That's because the 5-year-old isn't thinking about her mom's mind. You're thinking the narrators from the child's point of view, everything in this world is coming from the 5-year-old's view. So when you're upset about why the mom can't do this and why the Old Nick acts like this, the kid's not thinking about that.
Well, I tried to put myself in the mindset of the 5-year-old kid,
right?
And then I just fell back on the mother because the mother doesn't. She's trying to shelter him throughout the movie from the reality that the 5-year-old kid is in.
That's true.
And instead of incorporating him earlier in the movie as to what the real situation is, she opted to keep him in the dark.
Right.
Because at this point, if I'm the mother, that 5-year-old kid is an asset to getting both of us out of this room.
Sure.
But what she opted to do was, oh, no, I have to protect him till he's 5. And then for some reason at 5, she decides to let him in on the real world. And that's what really drove me crazy at the end of this movie, because she just decided to not utilize everything she had.
Okay.
She'd rather live in this 11 by 11 room than to actually try and get out. And for some reason, the guy goes unemployed for 6 months, no longer can afford vitamins. Now it's like, okay, we don't have electricity. Now I should bring in my small 5-year-old child instead of filling them in from the beginning as to what's going on.
But to that effect, if you're, and I see the point you're going for, but if you're like informing a 3-year-old at this point, and
John, why don't you touch on a 3-year-old?
If I told my 3-year-old son, we are in this room, we have to try and escape. We want to try and get this Old Nick guy. As soon as Old Nick comes in, he's going to be like, we're going to try and escape from you. Like, you're a mean person.
That's a perfect ploy.
The guy will be like, well, you're going to get murdered now.
It's understandable if, like, the kid is 3-year-old. What's not understandable is lying to him from the point of conception that this is reality. I did not like that about the main character. I thought if she informed the child from as soon as he was able to understand what's going on around him, what is really out there,
I don't think you can reason with a 4 and 5-year-old.
Let's loop in. Let's get Adam on.
I understand your qualm, but as John pointed out, a 3-year-old, which is almost 4, and in this movie turns 5. I don't think you can reason and try to understand a different mindset with a 5-year-old.
It's different than directly lying to the child.
Right.
Than telling what is
reality. But at the same time, none of us are mothers to children, so we don't know.
Speak for yourself. It's 2018. Okay.
Adam.
Well, I kind of see what you're saying, P-Funk. Like Shawshank, he had a rock chisel, put it behind a poster, try a long game to get out of there.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Okay, that aside, man, it was just misery watching this movie. And I mean that, and I think the movie intended that to be that way.
Okay.
Just oh man, they're in this room. Isn't this terrible and everything? Yeah, this is terrible. This sucks.
Yeah,
I hate watching this.
Right.
This is an awful story. This is an awful situation.
It did a good job.
It puts you there, but I'm this place sucks. There's nothing. I don't oh man, that's crazy how they got captured and then how that affected them and all this stuff. Yeah, that's all valid, that's fine, but I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated going down that road.
Yeah,
and then what upset me was
we're blowing this movie wide open. So if you got to spoil anything, go for it.
Again, I've never been captured for 7 years, held as a sex slave. So what do I know?
Sure,
but when
you just got married not long ago,
but.
So
being so being free from that, I know it. Hey, getting free from that situation, it takes time to adjust society, no doubt.
How long did Andy Dufresne take?
Yeah, you got to readjust society. I get that comes with challenges, but that's a hell of a lot better than being a sex slave. I mean, come on, people.
Right?
Oh no, the life outside the room is sometimes just as hard as the life inside the room. No, the life inside the room sucks. Okay, you're outside the room. Kiss the ground and thank God every day you're not in that room.
Right.
That just drove me nuts.
Yeah.
I was just come on.
So the fact that she's in there for 7 years and never busted out, that's what frustrates you?
No.
It's how she reacts when she gets out, right?
Hey, could she try something better? Yeah, she could have tried to rock chisel her way out. Okay, sure. I'm fine with that. But
fuzzy britches.
But getting out, then that's only half the movie's in the room. The other half the movie's outside the room.
That's true.
When she's out there and she's very depressed, not in the room anymore. I'm trying to adjust to life outside the room, and I don't know about this. So I'm dude, come on. Living at home with your parents who are divorced is rougher than living in a room being a sex slave. I mean, really? This is what we're trying to this is where this movie's going.
Okay.
It just, I don't know.
That frustrated. Yeah.
And in the room, it was awful because you just live with the characters, and it's terrible. The kids screaming, the kids, it's hell in the room. And then they leave the room. You think finally we're gonna get some life and we're gonna get some joy,
right?
And then no, we're not gonna give you any joy. Then I'm all right, great movie of 2 hours of sucking and being awful. Right. Great art, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm moving on. I'm taking my talents elsewhere. For this,
into
seriously.
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. No, it's you're totally right. But the fact is, we're all thinking about it. We're all it's tossing us all different directions because I totally get it. I said 7 years. In my head, in the way I would react is totally different than how this character would react. So yeah, I can sense everybody's frustration. But at the other time, she gets out. Again, spoiler alert, we told you to skip to the end of the podcast. When she gets out, yeah, as Adam said, you're in the free world and now your life's so rough. 7 years in a 11 by 11 room. Is there a little bit of Stockholm syndrome there? And, when there's so, you can eat cereal with milk,
and not bendy spoon.
Exactly. Does that change your mind? I don't know. Is 7 years enough to ingrain a lifestyle? Is that Stockholm syndrome? Is your brain so damaged after 7 years of an 11 by 11 room that a whole house now makes you angry? Who knows? So either way, like it, hate it, love it, whatever, it makes you think because Adam thinks a way he would get out. Patrick doesn't like how the kid was utilized, and this juxtaposition there, of course. If you're watching the live feed, Patrick doing his juxtaposition dance.
No more shots.
And but no, I thought it was a really interesting one. Although I will say I didn't like it, but it was something to think about. Their plight was something I wanted to be a part of because it was a mother saving the son. So I wanted to see how it turned out. I don't know. Patrick, what do you think?
Well, I really didn't like Brie Larson's character.
Okay.
Because at one point, she's doing everything she can for her child.
Mm-hmm.
And then at another point in the movie, she's willing to swallow a bunch of pills and take the easy way out and just be done. She doesn't want to provide for the child anymore. And I thought it was a very poor representation of her character because in the beginning, she sets it up to where she'll do anything. She'll keep old Nick away. She'll put her child in a wardrobe to keep her away from old Nick.
Right.
But then somebody asks, like, oh, should you do this for your child? And she's like, oh, that's a good point. Goodbye. And she's just trying to,
Yeah, I know. That drove me nuts.
I was
like, you're not getting raped every day. Okay,
Yeah.
life is better.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Not only life is better, you're with your mom again.
Yeah.
Like, your mom is taking care of you. What more could you ask for at that point?
Sure.
And she's just going to be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. That it didn't follow suit for what the character set up in the first hour.
And that's what the whole movie built up to.
Exactly.
It was like, oh, God.
So,
right.
like, the juxtaposition of the second hour of the main character's the plight, it didn't live up to the first half of the movie.
Right.
And I just thought it didn't follow suit, and I was very upset.
Was there juice in the beginning?
I would say that in the beginning, the character, if you're squeezing it, there's no real juice coming out.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But then the character gets out, and you're like, okay, so now I've squeezed this X.
Right.
What if I squeeze it X plus 1?
Mm.
So then I give it that little extra squeeze. And then all of a sudden, I got an 8-ounce glass of orange juice.
Yeah.
But then...
No pulp, baby.
I think it's like trying to squeeze a coconut.
But then I accidentally knocked the glass over, and it makes the whole first hour...
This isn't a story drink review.
Yeah,
I'm not even... I'm still in cons.
Let's move forward on this one.
Squeeze.
Everyone's got their own opinions. John, I mean, you stirred up the whole podcast, man. We're gonna switch on to pros. What do you got for a pro for Room?
For me, it was, and this is all you guys are kind of hitting on how she is afterwards. I mean, it's a story, so I'm going with the fact that she is horribly depressed. Like, I'm going with that, and it's all about like the boy. He gets out. He's the one that's like has to adjust. He's getting used to it, and it's like the joy. He's like, oh, this is real world. This is great. Look at this. It's dogs. It's outside. It's friends. And then seeing how she's suddenly realizing like, oh, he doesn't need me anymore. That stepping away. Like, yes, for me, I thought it was a good movie, but for Tam's point, it's not a fun movie. It's not a movie you're like, great, like this is enjoyable, like
feel good film
for
of the
me,
summer.
It's like I acknowledge, at least from my standpoint, I thought it was well done, and in doing so, it's a depressing movie.
Sure,
but like the escape scene, my heart was racing the entire time. It's an emotional movie, but it's not a feel good one. So for me, my pro is I thought it was well done.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. As Papa C. says, make you feel something. You definitely did. Patrick, give me a pro for this one.
Well, 2. I have harping back to Papa Steve. Yes, I felt something during the first hour of this film.
Mm-hmm.
2. The shots that they created in an 11 by 11 set.
Oh, yeah.
For the first hour of this film are dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there were so many angles you could shoot from in 11 by 11.
Right.
And there was a fact that on the Book of Truth, I saw that they filmed it in that.
Yeah.
Like they didn't blow out any sides.
Oh, really?
Like, that was all 11 feet by 11 feet, which I thought was crazy.
Kidding. Well, I remember one shot, and they were like doing their morning warm-ups or something, and the kid was going from one wall, touching one wall, and then going to the other wall, which is, even for a 5-year-old, 2 steps away. you know?
At least
and so
3.
the camera was jumping back and forth, never cutting, but only swimming back and forth.
But it made you feel
you were just as tight as the characters.
It felt like 11 feet from one frame to another.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same time, like, as a 5-year-old child, you can understand what it's like running from 11 feet from either angle. You know what it was like.
Right.
So I felt something there. But that second hour, I'll give it to Adam for a second pro.
All right, cool. Adam, give me those pros.
Yeah, I think that kid, man, that's
dynamite.
It amazes me how kids can act.
Yeah.
Just like major league.
Yeah.
That's a major league acting role right there.
For sure.
And that kid nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to like have his mom pack his lunch to go to the set.
I think
like, you know what I mean? Like that kid like,
yeah.
Like that's amazing. You know, so you can't that's a big pro.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. I think we're going to see a lot more of that kid in the future because if they're acting so well now, maybe they won't go the Macaulay Culkin way, but who knows? Like,
what about MCG Jr.?
MC Hammer?
We'll see him on Scott Pilgrim.
Let's hope they never go.
I see dead people. What happened to him?
So I think pros for me, yes, child acting was done well. I didn't know it was shot in just an 11 by 11 room.
That's cool.
That was incredible. I
That's not in the
almost want to see proof of that. Oh, is that in the notes? No, it's not.
No.
And then at the end when they go back, oh, sorry, go ahead. You were on pros.
And then something else I liked, which is my overarching thing, is this whole story is told to you from a 5-year-old's perspective. If you guys are missing, like, well, why did the mom act like this, or why did she not do this, or why did old Nick do this? If you're getting mad at that and you don't understand why you're mad at that, it's fine. It's because the 5-year-old doesn't care about it. They're not thinking about it. So the movie's told from that angle. If you're watching it from that angle, it's a different film, which we're not. The last film I watched that was shown from maybe a 5-year-old's perspective was
Home Alone.
Tidelands or not Tidelands. It was I can't remember. It's got
Tidal Wave.
It's got the dude in it. It's got the dude. I forget the name of it. I'll put it in the show notes. But anyway, that's my pro. It's cool that it's done from a 5-year-old's perspective. Adds a different twist on it. But we got to talk about cons. John, con it up.
I thought they did a good job of covering a lot of the obstacles that would come in post Breaking Free, but I guess I wish there was more to do with the biological father, because I thought that was a good like dilemma to expand on, but it was just like this is a dilemma, and you're like, I see where that comes from,
right?
And you never saw
was it old Nick the?
No, you're right. I meant Brie Larson's biological father.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, William H. Macy.
Yes.
You're touching on my con right now.
Hands off.
I'll hand it over. Let's segue on.
Okay.
Thank you, John. You know, talking about William H. Macy, you know, he's a dynamite actor. You see him in Shameless. He kills it on screen. What they did to him in this film is a disgrace. They had him on set for maybe
4 minutes.
4 hours. Something like that. Just enough to say, hey, William H. Macy's in this movie. And it drove me crazy. Because Shameless, you know, the first 5.5 seasons of this show are dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
But then they put him on screen. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some William H. Macy that I've been missing for the last X amount of years.
Right.
No. He's going to be on here for a total of, and I think I counted it, 8 screen time minutes, counting not vocal lines.
Wow.
Disgusting.
That's your con?
No, that's
More
just
Macy.
me. That's just me touching off of John's con.
Okay, all right.
My con is that they set it up as a movie from Brie Larson's point of view, but once you realize it's from the child's point of view,
right,
it's already too late. You've already invested way too much in Brie Larson's character.
Oh, that's true.
And it drives me crazy.
But they start with the kid talking. The kid intros you into the movie.
The kid's the narrator.
He's like, understand. This is room.
I understand that. But then, hard shot on Brie Larson's unwashed face.
Yeah.
And you realize, like, oh, she's the main character.
Right.
Then they escape the room. Then all of a sudden, Brie Larson's off screen for at least a half an hour.
Sure.
And then you're like, oh, wait. This is from the 5-year-old's point of view.
Right.
Oh, wait. I'm already an hour and a half into this movie. I don't know what's going on.
Ringy. No. Sounds a little ringy there.
No, you got it. No, you're making a fantastic point because
Thank you.
Brie Larson's character is being built up. She's showing emotion. We're seeing what she goes through with old Nick, and you're getting in her corner, and then all of a sudden she disappears because I forgot that it was a 5-year-old's perspective.
Yeah, but on top of that, like Adam came in and explained this movie to me. And it was basically the small child yelling, "I hate you, Mom," for an hour and a half. And then the mom leaves, and now you're just left with this character playing Legos and looking at Dora the Explorer on his phone. And you're like, what is this? I can't get behind this because you're telling me it's one thing, but in actuality, it's another thing. And I'm like, look, I could go deep into films, but this is ridiculous.
Right. Okay.
So that's my con.
Adam, get me with those cons, man. John, you're causing quite a controversy on this cast.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring those. First Boyhood, now Room.
There you go.
and on the flip
Don't
side,
even get me.
I bring the visual stimuli, the hardcore Harry.
That's
Scott
true.
Pilgrim.
That's true.
Your
All right.
dockets have a theme.
All right, cons, Adam. Hit me with those cons.
Yeah, man. It was just... dude, it's just so hard to watch. I mean, and I think that's what obviously they're going after, Oscar award winning,
Sure.
like great movie,
ton of awards.
amazing shots, amazing acting, all of this stuff. But man, I don't like celebrating stuff like this. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't like. That's just it's it's a difference of artistic opinion.
Sure.
Like I don't think. Let's tell this story from this kid's. This is crazy bleeped up story from this kid's point of view and how he sees the world. Isn't that nuts? You know what? Have that. You can have that.
Right.
I'm not going down that road with you.
Okay.
So it's just. I just don't like how this is a good movie in the world's eyes.
Right. I
You
see
know what I
saying.
mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like. I don't know, it's just really depressing.
Yeah, no,
It's
it
really
definitely
awful.
it is. It's extremely depressing.
I have never when I come to the podcast, usually there's some I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to talk about this. I was like, oh, we gotta talk about Room. Like I have never not been more up
right.
Like when the Room segment's coming up, I'm like, oh crap, we gotta talk about this movie.
Yeah, right.
It's already gone too long. Too long.
I get you. No, it's cons for me is I see a little bit of everybody's frustration. 7 years being in a room. And the guy obviously goes to work every day, and there's a scene where they yell, and try to get out, which they try to yell at like a vent that they see. But they could have flipped the bed on the side and tried to push it out of the glass if they try to knock it every day. So that kind of bugs me. Other cons is, as Patrick said, you don't notice where the switch is from who leads the story. In the beginning, it's the 5-year-old kid, and towards the middle, you're kind of thinking about the mother. So when she disappears for half the film, you're kind of left standing there. So that kind of frustrates me as a con. But anyway, we talk about rewatch, recommend. John, do you rewatch it? Do you recommend it?
This was my second viewing, but I did it for the cast. It's depressing. It's not something that I will want to rewatch again.
Right.
But... And I don't know if I'd recommend... If someone came to me and told me they want to watch The Room, I think I would tell them it's a very depressing movie that I thought was very well done.
Right.
And I would leave it at that for them to decide. But I'm not one that's going to be like, you wanna feel a lot of stuff?
It's a Friday night.
Unless I was going to a Netflix exploring podcast and I want to just bring us all in here. That's the only time.
Okay.
No. So it would actually be no and no despite
and no.
me enjoying it. It's like a Dale review.
Yes.
No and no. I like this movie.
But I really like it. I'm totally down. I got you. Patrick, do you rewatch it? Do you recommend it?
No.
No and no? No to either. Adam, looking at you, do you rewatch it? Do you recommend it?
Never. No.
No and no. Yeah, I don't think I need to. You want to be depressed? Great. Go ahead and watch it. So, but yeah, I don't need to rewatch it. I saw it's a one and done. We bring it down to League's Trial. John, compare this one.
For me, I had it as a Revolution Eugene Porter. They're heavier beers. Revolution is a very good brewery. Mm-hmm. I don't really drink porters all that much, but I understand it's a good drink. So I picked a heavy beer that is good that I don't do really often.
Okay, cool. Patrick, looking at you.
So I gave this the gin that you really liked that was on sale at Litco. that I can't remember the name
Burnett's?
of. Burnett's Gin.
Yeah.
This is the Burnett's Gin of movies. Nobody wants to drink it. Nobody wants to buy it.
But it's
and nobody
delicious.
wants to drink it.
I'm confused. I'm getting mixed messages. Okay, cool. All right, Adam, looking at you. Bring it down, Lick Strile.
So one time.
Oh my God!
Yes,
please
start your waterfalls, guys.
All right, here we go.
So you ever seen? There's these like new age bars where there's like they do fancy drinks, like infused drinks. You ever hear of these places?
I've heard of them before.
Yeah. So I went to this one bar and they had all kinds of stuff. Man, it was like, oh, we're gonna give you vodka inside a pineapple with with like actual air from Bora Bora infused into
it's like the third week in a row we got Bora Bora
infused into the pineapple,
right?
And then
big fruit producer.
And I was like, they're like, I had to order something, and I was like,
Bora Bora.
I was like, I'll just take a whiskey, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so they come out with a whiskey, and it's in a huge decanter. Right. The waitress comes out. She lights up a cigar.
Yeah.
And she starts smoking the cigar. The waitress does. I'm like, oh dang,
nice. Yeah.
Like, this is hardcore.
Right.
And then she blows the cigar into the decanter and closes it.
Ooh.
And like stirs it around. She goes, here you go. And then she gives me a glass.
Okay.
So it's like, so then I pour the whiskey out, and it just like tastes like cigar ash.
Yeah, but what's the problem? Like, I'm not understanding the problem.
Is it $30?
It's like, yeah, we're a hip place, and we combine cigar smoke with whiskey. Have at it. I'm like,
no,
you guys,
those go together. I understand.
I hate to
tell me about the room.
They go together, but separately. Like, I like to drink whiskey and smoke the cigar. I don't want just to stick my cigar in my whiskey and drink it. That's not how it
You're
works.
not smoking a cigar, right?
But everyone loves it. But oh my God, you should read the reviews on Yelp. You should see the IMDb ratings. You should. Oh my God, this place is so cool. Take all these pictures, and oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. We're so high society. And I'm like, dude, you suck. All right, you suck. Like, just stop. Like, I hate how people think you're awesome, but you suck.
Wow.
So, but the IMDb rating is so high for this bar.
Jeez. Wow. Yep. Okay, well, moving quickly along, my drink review is something called Jenkum. Has anyone ever heard of Jenkum here?
Nope. Zero.
Okay. This is where prisoners...
Okay, I assume I have heard of it.
Are you about to recommend wine toilet?
It's kind of like prison wine, but it's called
Prison Break.
It's kind of like prison wine, but it's Jenkum. So here's where it's called Jenkum. It's where prison wine. Google it, people. And so what the deal is when you're in prison, like I would assume is the best thing you can get is Jenkum, to like soothe your sorrows on a Friday night. You know what I mean? Like that's the best of what you're going to get in this situation. So to me, the common person, do I want Jenkum? No, I don't want that. It's not going to make me feel happy. Does this movie make me feel happy? No, it's not a happy movie at all. Is this character getting like a glass of, a 1961 Bordeaux? No, they're not. But they are getting they are getting Jenkum. They are getting the best of what they're dealing with. And so Jenkum is the best this chick can deal with. It's a crappy drink, but it's the best you can ask for. So kind of gross. Maybe don't Google that at all, if you don't mind. But that's
I respect that story. That was good.
That's what I think.
Dale at 1890 Studios.
Dale at 1890. If you've been in
Dale
jail,
at Jenkum.studios.
Yeah. If you got any stories about Jenkum, let me know, or any new recipes,
or any juxtapositions.
That's right. We talk about something at the very end of the show. We talk about. What is your pick of the week? Johnny P, looking at you. We talked about a lot of films, maybe some TV shows. What is your pick of the week?
So so the one I'm definitely going to watch again is the Scott Pilgrim, but
you can't pick your own?
The document. All right, if I can't pick my own that I brought, I would say any World War II episode of Medal of Honor. I am very interested.
Medal of Honor.
Just turning on those respective ones.
It'll be good. You won't be disappointed.
P-Funk looking at you.
I'm also going to pick Medal of Honor.
Okay, Adam looking at you.
I gotta go Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim pick of the week.
Yep. Or Heat. I don't know. Those are both good ones.
Ooh, Heat. Heat's a very good.
Well, the first 2/3 of Heat or all of Scott Pilgrim?
I've never seen Heat.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch Heat.
Oh, yeah. You only
dude, it's 3 hours of nonstop. Sort of stop.
You don't know that. You only know 2 hours of it.
It's 3 hours of one-stop action.
I'll go. I'm going to stick with Scott Pilgrim, though.
Scott Pilgrim it is. All right, well, I'm going to go with Medal of Honor. Giving 3 to Adam, man. Good pick this week. Listen, people. Johnny P, he emailed us. He's like, listen, I'm building the docket. I want to get on the show. You guys can do the same thing. It's Patrick, it's Adam, and it's Dale at 1890studios.com, 1890studios.com. You can find us. We're on Twitter at TheNetX. That's the NETEX. If you want to troll us over there. If you're listening to us on iTunes, it takes 22 seconds to leave us a rating and a review. We'd appreciate it. It doesn't take much to get on the podcast. Johnny P showed up, rolled in, brought a few brews. Here he is, man. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Bud Light John.
Happy to be here. I think I'm starting to develop a theme. Either it's Wayans Brothers or it's a 50-50 split of great and terrible.
Stick to 50-50.
Also, extreme.
What if both? What if both?
God, please help us.
Extreme controversy too. Like usually you get the podcast all upset.
Hey, I'm here to create entertainment.
You create great content. Well, thanks for being here, man.
Always happy to be here.
Patrick, what's going on?
As always, Rusty.
Thanks for the notes, dude.
Yep, you got it.
Are you in a rush to get out of here?
I am in a huge rush.
All right. Well, Adam, thanks for... What do you think? Adam, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, come on, please.
Dale, I am so glad you asked me how I'm doing.
Stay a while.
P-Funk, can you stay to the end
He's
of the podcast,
gone.
please?
He's already left the podcast.
Sorry about this, fellas. I gotta go.
I mean, that's highly unprofessional to leave before the end of the show.
Listen.
He's got places to be.
He's got to go.
Actually, can you throw this away for me?
He's already gone.
Hey, Patrick, speak up if you don't like the room.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Hey, man. Anytime.
All right, we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for listening. And as we say here at the Netflix Explorers, well, adios.
Arrivederci.
It's like, yeah, you better tell the cleaning lady because you're going to be dust by Monday.